Hi there, this is Datila, and welcome to TNAIW Go Power Rankings show. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Burt Maclin. No relation to Steve Maclin.
None whatsoever.
Wow, I don't even know where to start with this week's Impact Wrestling. I really don't. Who do you expect to see on this week's Impact?
Well, I would definitely say Honor No More at the top or close near damn near to it, just because they are like the number one thing going in the company right now. They have the tag titles. Eddie has the number one contender spot. And I just think that they're the focal point of the show in one way or another as of right now. So I think they're going to be number one.
I do think Honor No More should be up there, but what about Masha Slamovich's ball match? Was the main event for a reason.
I don't know how I forgot about that. You're completely right. Forget everything I just said, everybody. Forget everything I just said. I completely agree with you. The way she closed out the show in a great match, and shout out to Alley Catch for putting on a great show. That was a fucking good match. That was awesome. That was really good. Like, Masha should be number one. I agree with you.
Thank you. Thank you for agreeing with me.
No, as always, you make great points.
Thank you. You make great points too. You really do.
And I know, and friend of the show, Scott Demore, I know he listens, so this must be where he gets most of his ideas from. So
Exactly. All right, Burt, before we get into Power Rankings, you want to tell us how you joined the Power Rankings committee?
Just reach out to me on Twitter at Burt Maclin 11, DM or message, and we'll get you in the Power Rankings. We just want Impact fans who watch the show every week and get out a top 10. That's as simple as that. So Burt Maclin 11, hit me up.
Right. And so you guys heard Burt. Make sure you reach out to him if you want to join the Power Rankings committee. But with that being said, let's play the Power Rankings. Number 10, Rich Swann and Heath. Number 9, the HBAC Mia Yim. Number 8, Exhibition Champion Mike Bailey. Number 7, Digital Media Champion Brian Myers. Number 6, World Champion Jordan Grace. Number 5, DK and Company. Number 4, Ace Bay Juice Bullet Club. Number 3, World Champion Josh Alexander. Number 2, Tag Team Champions Honor No More. Number 1 contender Masha Slamovich. All right, well, first off, I want to start off by talking about Brian Myers. He came out with his white attire. I know it was white and black. Kind of made me think like he was trying to be a Power Ranger. And, you know, this is a Power Rankings inspired by the Power Rangers. So I just had to bring that up.
That's totally fine. I'm with you on that.
Right? All he was missing, like if he would have wore gold instead of black, he totally would have been the white Power Ranger. And then if he came out with like Saba and everything, perfect.
That would have been awesome.
It would have been. Oh, very much well-deserved Masha Slamovich being number one. She totally deserved that incredible match.
She absolutely does. And we said in the past, we don't necessarily think that she's winning the title yet at Bound for Glory. This number one spot's well-deserved, and she just continued to be on the rise. So well-deserved to her.
Definitely. Round of applause. I would say that right now. I have to say, damn, Mike Bailey fell at number 8. He's usually in the top 5, but he wasn't on Impact this week.
It's never completely balanced. Like we should normally see the champions always near the top. So one week we don't have Josh Alexander near the top. This week he's 3, and then now we don't. And then Mike Bailey, and now it's right vice versa. Now Mike Bailey's not that high on the list, but Josh is. So we can't seem to get it right, but it's okay. It's objective, so.
Yeah, they're objective, okay? It's people's opinions. I have to say, I'm really happy to see the Bullet Club, Ace Bay, and Juice Robinson at number 4. Ace, they got a one hell of a victory at Victory Road, and Ace and Bay, surprise, surprise, were victorious this week. So really happy to see that.
More Juice Robinson, please. Like, Sky, if you're listening, which I know you are, sign Juice Robinson, get him on the show. We need more of a Bullet Club presence. Sign Juice Robinson. I want to see more.
Definitely. So let's talk about number 10, Rich Swann and Heath. They got the victory over PCO and Vincent.
And there was definitely more, again, tension between Honor Moore and Vincent this week. You can definitely see the breakup. It's going to happen sooner than later. Eddie's basically, saying it's his fault every time something bad happens. So I don't see them long for that group.
Definitely. It's not a question of if he's going to get kicked out. It's more of a question of when is he going to get kicked out of the group. He's definitely getting kicked out of the group.
Yeah. And it's a win-win, if I say, because I think, it's not going to weaken Honor No More, and Impact needs more tag teams. And I think that creates an automatic tag team with Vincent and PCO. So I think it's a win-win.
I definitely do think it is a win because, like you said, we need tag teams. The tag team division is just, I don't know what's going on there. I really don't.
But, Impact has this thing going right now where, they have a core roster, but then they'll have kind of a revolving door. We saw Aussie Open, they just need maybe a few established tag teams and they'll be fine. But I don't think it's as bad as we think it is sometimes, but it definitely could be a lot better. So like I said, PCO and Vincent leave Honor No More. That's in their tag team right there. So, and then you have Ace and Bay, and then you have Motor City Machine Guns and then OGK. So if you get maybe one more tag team in there, I think they'll be good.
No, yeah, I do agree. I want to talk about number 5, DK and Company. Black Taurus, a hell of a match against Delirious.
Yeah,
I don't think Black Taurus gets enough credit.
I don't think he is. I don't think he does either. He's very underrated just in terms of he goes out there every time and puts on a really, really great match. And DK is kind of on a roll quietly, right? There's another tag team right there we're kind of forgetting. I think that Crazy Steve and Black Taurus will be tag team champions eventually. What? Eventually, yeah. Because like we said, we've said other people will be champs before them. So, real quick, Josh Alexander at number 3. I think because of lately, I want to take a line from a great movie, 10 Things I Hate About You. And there's a line in there by Gabrielle Union where she says, I know you can be overwhelmed, and I know you can be underwhelmed, but can you just be whelmed? And that's kind of how I've been about Josh Alexander lately, just kind of whelmed. But that promo that he cut on Impact was probably the best promo I've ever heard him cut. So I know I keep saying he's going to not be champion after Bound for Glory, but doesn't take away that I think Josh has been a great champion, and that promo was top notch. So good for him. I really liked what I heard from there.
I have to say, there's a part of me, I don't want Josh Alexander to lose. I really don't. I would like for Josh Alexander to stay champion. But, we've been talking about, you and I have been talking about how Eddie Edwards needs to beat Josh Alexander. He needs to beat him. But let's say, for instance, Eddie Edwards does lose to Josh Alexander. Where does Eddie Edwards go from here? Or where does Josh go from here? I feel like Josh would just keep going and going and going. And I forgot who it was, but somebody brought up the fact that if Josh holds the title to January, he would, I think, catch up to Bobby Roode's record. So he would probably have to hold the title to at least Hard to Kill in order to beat Bobby Roode's record.
I think that I was thinking about this as well because I definitely think that Josh is going to be – I could definitely see Josh being the one to beat Bobby Roode's record, but I don't think it's going to happen this run. And I'm just going to go back to what we keep saying, and then also, like I said, like what you just said, I don't see – let's say Josh wins. I don't see a ready-made feud that you could see happen that would be. I'm not saying that this is the biggest thing happening in Eddie Edwards winning the title right now, but I don't see like what, for example, what do they have like Steve Maclin come out and attack him right after the show? I don't see a big name out there. So Eddie Edwards being the champion, whether it, just being a short transitional champion, it just makes the most sense. And I think that there's feuds for him to have right there. He'll obviously have a rematch against Josh, and then there's matches there. But yeah, I don't think that, like I said, I think Josh has pretty much beat everyone to this point where there's really no one that he could face that would be big right now or be a compelling feud.
That is true. I don't know if this is the same scenario, but I'm just gonna go ahead and bring this up. A look at Deonna Purrazzo and Mickie James. We all thought Deonna Purrazzo was gonna beat Taya Valkyrie's record, but she ended up losing to Mickie James at Bound for Glory. So maybe this might be the same situation. We probably think, maybe some people think, oh, Josh Alexander's gonna beat Bobby Roode's record. He's gonna go on and beat Eddie Edwards, but he could, but I don't think it's his first title reign. When he gets another chance at the title, which we know he will, I think that's when he should break it. Because right now, it's like you said, he beats Eddie Edwards. Who's his next feud? Who's the next big feud?
And also, we both said, and if you think about it, both those records, Ty's being fairly recent, and Bobby Roode's, I think about 8 years old. We've been both saying that an older record's about to be broken, and that's Mike Bailey. We both said that's the record that we're fairly positive they're going to have break, because that record has been around for 10 plus years of Christopher Daniels having that defensive record. And I think that one's a little bit less prestigious in terms of, because if you think about it, when people talk about great champions, and they should mention it, no one ever talks about like the defenses really. They talk about like length of reign and how many times they've been champions. So in terms of like, I think the two reigns of Ty and Bobby Roode are a little bit more prestigious than Christopher Daniels, while it is great. So I think Mike Bailey is going to beat that record, and I don't see Josh Alexander beating Bobby Roode just yet. But I do think that he has a good chance to do it, and he will be the one to do it.
I do think that he will beat it eventually. I don't think he's going to do it this title reign. I think that if he loses to Eddie Edwards, when the next time he becomes champion, I think that's when he breaks Bobby Roode's title reign.
I just think Eddie Edwards wins. We would also say, and for some reason, if they want to give Josh Alexander a big Bound for Glory win, that's fine. Then they immediately need to do something on the next show or the next Impact Plus, some sort of grudge match where they just have Honor No More, have a bunch of interference, because like we said, it does not make sense for what we've been, because this is the most story they put into any one of Josh Alexander's feuds that I can remember, right? Especially because this has just been building since Eddie Edwards has been saying that he was denied his title shot. There's more layers to it than just them head to head. So I don't see Eddie Edwards losing. I don't see it happening.
I think a lot of people forget, because he hasn't brought it up in a while, but I think a lot of people forget that the whole reason Eddie Edwards turned heel is because he wasn't given an opportunity to bring the title home.
It's long-term, it's long-term storytelling, which people always ask for, and what people are always begging for. It's you have to pay attention to little hints. That's how you tell a great story. That's how you reward fans for people who are paying attention. So yeah, I don't see how people could think anything otherwise.
Well, let me ask you this. So Josh Alexander lost last year 2 moves at Bound for Glory. The question
Keep going.
The question is, would Impact be willing to hand Josh Alexander another loss at Bound for Glory? Because what if they do this scenario? What if, say for instance, Josh does beat Eddie just so that he doesn't go 2-0-2 at Bound for Glory, right? So, like, let's say he does beat Eddie, but let's say there's some type of controversy involved here, right? Let's say maybe Eddie Edwards' foot was on the rope or under the rope and ref doesn't see, because I could see that happening. You prolong if you want to prolong the feud a little bit, or you want to do the rematch the following Thursday. Do you think that's going to happen, or do you think Eddie just beats Josh?
Well, first of all, I think that Eddie's winning with a heavy dose of Honor No More interference. That's what I think, no matter what. And like you said, if for some reason they want to give Josh a big win at Bound for Glory, which I think that's totally fine, especially since I don't think there was a crowd at last year's. I think maybe there was.
Hey, yes, I was there. There was a crowd at last year's.
Sorry. So yes, they give a big win, and then, like I said, the next Impact Plus special, which is November or immediately on Impact, have Eddie win then. But it's not like it matters if he loses 2 years in a row, because that could add another little storyline that, like, when maybe next year Bound for Glory is in Josh's hometown, or maybe it's in Canada, and that's when he gets his big win at Bound for Glory. I don't think him losing 2 back-to-back wins, title wins at Bound for Glory is as big as people say it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it ruins his career if he loses.
That's true. You do right, but it's gonna. I think that if they do decide to get Josh the win, I think it's gonna be in controversial fashion. So because that way they can prolong the feud or have a rematch.
Yeah, you know what? Right there, you have Josh win by having, and then they miss Eddie with his foot on the ropes. You have Honor No More and Matt Taven say it's Impact screwing Honor No More once again. Then you get an immediate rematch. So that I can see that I like that idea as well. So that'd work.
Me too. You know what? I'd rather have that happen. What do you guys think? Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys agree? Should Eddie Edwards pin Josh Alexander clean, or should Josh beat Eddie in controversial fashion?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about or bring up before we get ready to sign off?
No, just it's the Go Home Show to Impact. Watch Impact as always. And just pay, especially as the Go Home Show, you want to pay attention to what happens on tonight and on Bound for Glory, and of course after. And just going forward, this is the best time to get on the Impact train. Join the hype.
Yes, definitely. I do agree. Thursday is the Go Home Show to Bound for Glory. I'm expecting, that Moose versus Maclin with Sami Callihan, a special guest referee. I feel like that's going to be a good match. There might be some funny stuff going on, but I think that's going to be a good match. Watch Impact. Stop sleeping on Impact Wrestling, people. Like, what more do Burt and I have to do or say to get you people to watch Impact? Well, with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever this video drops or whenever TNAIW releases a new video. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.